Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Limitless Coach and Training Consultancy. I'm Catherine Bolodo. I'm going to be your trainer and facilitator this afternoon. So before we start, I'd like to make some reminders that we are also live on Facebook and YouTube. So please invite your friends and share this training with your friends who you think will benefit from this. We'll also have the Q&A portion at the end of the lecture, short lecture. And then please stay with us until the end for a photo op with all of us for about time. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. This training, short training, is all about making the most out of your life. And for some reminders, one moment. And I hope you have a pen and paper ready near you. Let's get going if you are ready. All right. So I'm Catherine Bolodo. I'm hotel and restaurant consultant. I pre-open hotels and restaurants for a living. That's a fun job, actually. And I'm a mother of four. I also am very, very interested in event managing. I started very early. I think as early as high school, college, um, I've been into the event organizing task. So mahilig po talaga akong mag-organize. And I think my job as a hotel and restaurant consultant has also prepared me a lot for, and my training in project management has made me more of a productivity and efficiency junkie. Mahilig po talaga akong mag-organize, make things efficient, make things more, kumbaga po, logistically easy and efficient. And I think above all, if you have children, I have four children, so that alone is a factor for requiring organizing skills. Tama po ba? All right, so those are my actual stuff. If you see, mahilig po ako mag-notebook. My notebooks are around me right now. I have a daily checklist. I have a weekly checklist. And above all, I love making plans. So if you can imagine the thousands and millions of parts that go into a hotel or a restaurant, kutsara, tinidor, pillowcase, doorknob, those are all things that we have to think about. So yeah, that's where I get my knack for being productive. All right. So our topic today is making the most out of your life. I'll share with you tips and tools that you can use to being productive. Okay. I know that we are all home right now, and probably a lot of people are saying, no, let's be productive, let's not be productive. So I do have my personal take on that, and I hope that you will learn from this afternoon session. And by experience, I know that the people who attend my trainings of productivity are those who are already in the zone. Kumbaga po, mahilig na talaga rin sa productivity and knowing how to be more better managers of their time and their day. All right. So during this quarantine season, these are the things that I realized kumbaga na-realize ko natin during this quarantine. For purposes of this training, I actually look back at my planner and I realized that by the end of the month, di po bantay na quarantine around March 16 or something, that by the end of the month, I already had a routine for myself and my children. And the checklists never stop. I also realized that there are things that I would love to do, and that there are things that I wanted to rearrange in the house or redo. I had projects that I wanted to do despite the pandemic. For some, it's probably less hectic, I would say. Some people realize that did a lot of introspection, nagmuni-muni, kumbaga. And one of the things that I'll share with you today is that with regards to productivity, we have to accept that our lives are multifaceted. Ito po yung, kumbaga, this is not a hard and fast sectioning of your life. Pwede pong yung iba dyan ay hindi applicable sa inyo. Pwede rin po that you have a special section in your life, okay? But for purposes of this training, I put them all in. Self-development would pertain to everything that is for you, for improving yourself, for improving your health, finances, learning, intellectual, relational, and things like those. I included social, meaning po, you go out, you have an organization, Rotary, JCs, etc. And do you volunteer for an organization? And also, on the left bottom, you'll see I included there rest and enjoyment, because productivity is not all about going, ballistic and going rah-rah-rah energetic all the time. It's also about finding time for yourself and for enjoyment. Lalo na po ngayon that we are, experiencing all kinds of emotions due to our being kept inside their homes for a long time. Now, so this is one of the things that you have to remember. So when you do start planning your days, your weeks, your months and years, I hope that you will take all of this into consideration. The only exception is that if you're a billionaire already and you don't intend to work, or a millionaire at that, if you have enough money, not requiring to work, then you only take care of the rest of your life. That's a different kind of setting. But even moms who are full-time mommies, even people who have two jobs, one job, this is probably applicable to you. All right. So, why should we aim to be productive? You know, um, I've been a productivity junkie starting in about 2 decades po. 2 decades ago. And I am, at that time, about 20 each. I've been training since 23. I've been a trainer since 23. And I do not believe in being idle, unless it's really a time that I carve out for enjoyment. So disclaimer, I also have time for enjoyment. But I do not believe in wasting time. So I have formed a lot of principles in my mind. Just yesterday, oh no, 2 days ago, a news network posted this on their feed. Opo. Sabi niya, you are not defined by your productivity. You do not need to overwork to be worthy, which I agree to. Because really, productivity is not all about overworking yourself. It's actually, ironic that that's not how we would define it. And at the same time, I also agree that being productive should not be the measure of who you are. It's in fact your character and the way you treat other people. So the productivity side is something that is important to me. Why? Because there are 3 reasons for me why we should aim to be productive. Number one is, as you can see on the screen, your time is precious. Okay, we probably all have the same. I'm sure we all have the same number of times allotted to us, 24 hours in a day. And the way that we manage our time is different from being productive. Okay? Time management is more of what you put in each hour, in each week. Being productive is being wise, and efficient about the way you use your time. Second is that we have responsibilities. If you are a person who is a family man or woman, may pamilya ka, you have children, you have responsibilities to being a father or a mother or a child. And at the same time, you have work responsibilities. You have to produce and to give results to the person who is employing you, no matter what capacity that is. So we have responsibilities. Some of us even take on more responsibilities. Example, people who serve as volunteers for charitable institutions, who serves a church, who serves a community, who have side hustles, who have racket on the side. If you are one of those, then you have added more to your responsibility. If you are, and I also believe that being busy is not the same as being productive. So busy is, in one of the classes that I attended, the speaker said, busy should be thrown out of the window. Because the truth is, you make time for the things that you like. Okay, so busy should be scratched out. Of course, it's dependent on you, because inevitably, sometimes we actually are busy in our lives. So those are the reasons for me why we should be productive. All right. As the author, kilala niyo po ba si Norman Vincent Peale? He's the author of The Power of Positive Thinking. That's a good reminder for all of us to reread that book if you haven't. Plan your work and work your plan. Meron po itong subtitle, meron po itong kasunod na sentence, something to the effect of, kumbaga, pag daw magulo yung plano mo sa utak mo, it's the reason why you are overwhelmed. Which is true. If there is anything that I do love to do, it's to plan. But guys, productivity is not just about planning. Hindi po pwedeng puro planning. Okay, so these are two. I'll give you some time to read the screen. Okay, productivity is about being an excellent planner and an even more excellent, if that is an allowed grammar, more excellent, an even excellent doer. Um, Planning is nothing if you do not get to accomplish. Kung hindi mo na gagawin plano, it's nothing if it's all planned. So planning could be as broad as what are your life dreams? What are your goals? What do you want to be? How do you want to be recognized in your life? What do you want to do next year, next month, next week? What do you want to do? Bukas, anong plano mo? Um, that's all part of the planning stage. So sometimes, guys, the planning part of productivity is as simple as writing it down on a clean sheet of paper. Okay, or if you want, you can journal, or if you have a planner, or if you have, it can be a Microsoft Word or a Word document. It's just simply writing down how you want to get to somewhere. If you have a life dream. Life dreams, guys, are it's different from goals. Goals being the measurable, specific time, time tied kind of thing. Life dreams are as simple as owning a espresso machine. Sorry, pumahilig po kasi ako sa coffee. So it could be as simple as that, or putting the specifics on your dream house. That's a life dream. How much money do you want at the age of 60? That's a life dream. How you want to be, how do you want your health to be when you're 60 or 70? That's a life dream. So yun po yung mga parts ng planning. The doing part is a tad more difficult for me because yun na po yung gagawin mo na talaga, di ba? And for most of us, it's difficult to start something, especially if it's something that is in our head difficult to do. An example would be exercising. If all of you are exercising, I'm so happy for you. And if you read every day, that's also something that you want to do. That's good for you. So the doing part po is the creating of positive, beneficial habits that will help you to reach your life dreams. Okay? So meaning, later on, you realize that the foundation of all that we aim to be in life and to being productive are two things. It's what you want to be and what you do every day. Okay. The second item on the doing part is carving out time for deep work. Okay. A lot of the people I have encountered who are very interested in being productive are the people who have big jobs to do. When I say big job, deep work, there are people who need to who want to write a book. That requires deep work. There are people who want to put up a business. That's deep work because you have to do the research, make your business plan, seek out financing, etc. What else? If you have a research paper, that's deep work. Okay. If you have to put together something that requires a lot of concentration and focus, that's deep work. So one of the things that productivity can bring you is being able to carve out time for deep work. All right. And the last item on this side of the doing part is quality and impactful output. A lot of people would think that being productive is a quantity competition. In fact, it's a quality and impactful output goal. Meaning po, it doesn't matter if you have 10 or 3 or 2 goals or tasks for the day, if they were done to the best of your ability and with the best of your efforts and with 100% of your heart and soul, that's quality output. And if there's anything that I want you to learn from me, is that being productive is not numbers. It's not quality. One of the tools that we use in productivity is I to 6. Why? Because Ivy is a person, okay? He's a productivity consultant, and he realized that a person's optimal capacity in a day is 6. Okay, so I do adhere to that sometimes, but there are days that the tasks are light and I can do 10. Yeah. Um, so yeah, this is a quality and impactful output kind of goal for productivity. All right. So daily habits. How do you spend your day? Yeah. How do you spend your day? Can we hear from the audience, from the participants, on how you spend your day? Okay. I will try po to be monitoring all of you. But please forgive me if I miss a comment. So how do you spend your day? How do you start out your day? Okay. Being the productivity junkie that I am, I kid you not, I exercise practically every day. Alam ko po, hindi po ako sexy. But I kid you not, kaya ko pong tumakbo, mag-cardio, I can do those. I do weights and all that. I'm not, kung sa gym parlance po, hindi po ako halimaw sa gym. At hindi po ako nag-gym, nasa bahay lang po ako ngayon. I exercise every day. And I'll tell you why. Because in the past, it was the most difficult thing for me to do. It was the most difficult habit for me to create. And now, I wake up at 5 a.m. while my children and the whole house is asleep, and I exercise. Ang minimum ko po ay 5 days a week, 30 minutes. Yes, that's my minimum. And I realized that when I do exercise, when I start my day with exercise and prayer late after, um, my day is a lot better. When I say better, it's, my mood is better, my productivity is better, and all that. So, how do you spend your day? Do you know? And I will talk about this social dilemma. Ay, uso yun, di ba, movie? We look at our phones on average 300 times a day. Oh my God. I think I look at my phone 100 times a day. We have so many distractions, guys. We have our telephone. Hindi ko po mapakit. Our phone, of course. I am sometimes a victim of this. You know, um, and other things that are not necessarily required today. May apparently there are who distract themselves, boards, cooking, baking, distraction po pala yun. So our biggest distraction nowadays is telepono, ang atin pong mga smartphones. Oh my God. I'll share with you ha. Ito pong training I've finished this slides last week. So medyo relaxed this week, today's Saturday, this week, I think I probably looked at my phone 300 times each day. Kasi po medyo gift ko sa sarili ko that, yay, nakatapos na ako isang module so and I actually finished Emily in Paris in 2 sittings. So, what am I trying to say? I will bring back the past slide. How do you spend your day will dictate how you are going to reach the rest of your life dreams and how you will feel about yourself if you're being productive or not. Pag po ako naglista ng 6 items on my task list today, I do make a task list every day. Hold on, one moment. Okay. This is my planner. Okay, this is how crazy it is for me sometimes. And I do have a list every day. I have a list for everything. I'm a slave of checklists because it has proven to be very beneficial to me as a consultant and as a mother. Okay, So how we spend our day will dictate the rest of the things that we do in life, actually. Do you exercise? Do you get to read? Do you cook? Do you get to work? Are you able to work quality hours for your employer if you're employed? If you're freelancing, are you able to spend good quality hours for your freelancing work? If you're a mother or a father who's full-time, are you able to do quality work in terms of cooking and cleaning and quality time with your family? So this is how we are measured really. So there will always be a discrepancy as to your regular day and to your ideal. So the reason why I put this up is because in your own time, I'd like you to draw out your regular day. Pwede pong kahapon kasi Friday, di ba? So may pasok, may school din ng mga bata. If your kids go to school online already or modular, that's your regular day, you know? And if you do try to log your day, you'll realize that we indeed look at our phones 300, 100 times a day. That we probably watch too much TV. That we probably need to sleep more. Or we need to go out and get some sun. And the reason why I put this side by side, guys, is because, again, in your own time, I want you to write down your regular day and your ideal day. Meaning po, when you write down your ideal day, if it were something that you want to be happy about and you want to be satisfied about, how would your ideal day look like? All right. So I'll share with you a quote from James Clear. James Clear is the author of Atomic Habits. The reward of your good habits are in the future. And the reward of your bad habits are in the present. Ibig sabihin nito, he used the analogy of the donut. Okay. The rewards of eating a donut now is instantaneous, masarap, di ba? It's yummy, it's buttery, it's sweet, it's decadent. But the rewards of a good habit, example, exercising, are in the future. Meaning, hindi mo mararamdaman ngayon, hindi mo mararamdaman bukas, hindi ka papayat bukas, hindi mawawala yung love handles mo agad in 2-3 days. No. You'll probably be in about 3 months. And that's the reason why it's important for you to create the good habit now when you can. Well, to segue to James Clear, this is a very good book. If you will read anything on productivity, it's about it. Please read Atomic Habits. Yes. So yun po. What do you do every day? So the reason why we will zero in on daily habits, it's because yun yung nangyayari every day. A lot of people actually plan big time. Quarterly, monthly, uupo, gagawa ng magandang plano. If you see the plans, they're like, wow, amazing, impressive. But what needs to be seen is what do you do every day to accomplish your plans for the month or for the quarter or for the year. So everything po, the battle is in the daily habits. And I always like to use this quote from from One Habit from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I always use this habit for when I do project management training or productivity training or any related trainings. Begin with the end in mind. Okay, what do you want to happen in the future that will be requiring something today? What you will do today will be impacting something that you want to do to happen to you in the future. All right. So life dreams or goals. Anong gusto mong mangyari sa'yo? Okay. What do you want to most to achieve? All right. Now, guys, there's one other thing that I want to share with you about goals. When you do write your life goals, sometimes there's like 1,000 of them or 100 of them. And I kid you not, according to Warren Buffett, the top 5 goals in your life are the ones that you should be. Warren Buffett is investor, is an investor. And he said that if you write 25 goals or 30 goals or how many goals, the top 5 that you want are the goals that are most important to you and what you should be working on. If that is applicable to you, then you probably want to think about it. But if everything is a priority, then there is no priority. Yun pa yung word, isa yan sina. Okay. What you do every day should have an impact, big or small, on the realization of your life dreams. Yes. So again, every day. That's one of the most definitive things that you want to do in your life is to create the habit now. All right. So, as I was saying, life dreams or goals cannot stop at being goals. You should add a how. Paano? Example, I'll give you an example. One of my life dreams is to be healthy when I reach the senior citizen level 60 and up. Meaning po, my vitals are good, I don't have maintenance medicine. So that's the reason why I exercise now, I eat sensibly, I sleep at least 7 hours I try. I drink lots of water. So yun. So for you guys, just run through your mind. If you have 5 goals in your mind, they should be accompanied with a how, with an action item. Okay? They should be accompanied by a thing that will put it into action. So your goals should be acted upon on a daily basis or something regularly like a few times a week basis. All right. So I'm going to share with you 5 tips that you can do now because this is a productivity seminar and I want you to be able to apply your learnings from today. Again, guys, I'm going to go back just briefly to the slide on this. I really hope you will find time to write this down, this slide. Okay. Find time this weekend if it's lighter time for you to plug your regular day and what your ideal day would look like. What's going to be in there? And you realize that a lot of the things that we do can be modified. All right. And next, I want you to think about this also. Okay? I'd like you to be able to put an action item on each of the dreams that you want for your life. Okay, so we'll start with the number 1 item, which is plan each day with clarity and intention. All right. Whenever I use clarity and intention, parang highfalutin naman or parang horem-horem, sabi pa nila. When I say plan each day with clarity and intention, there are days po that I'm not all ballistic going to work. Okay? I'm a mother and I'm working from home. So how I've planned my day has been half a day, household chores. Yes, I do household chores. I take care of the children. And in the afternoon, when everything is set, when all the meals have been taken care of and all the dishes and laundry have been taken care of, in the afternoon, up to the night time, sometimes early evening, that's my time for work. Okay? So I have a day of this. These are like my regular days. There are days when I do not have work, when I decide not to work. Okay? So each day, when you write out your goals for each day, i-clear ninyo sa sarili nyo. Okay? Tomorrow, the reason why I'm saying tomorrow is because I'd like you to get the habit of writing your things to do the next day, the night, or the day before. Okay? I do that on a daily basis, believe me. So tomorrow, for me, it's a Sunday. It's my rest day, actually. Well, Saturday is also my rest day, half the day if I don't have trainings. So tomorrow is a Sunday. Well, all I plan to do is rest, eat, read, hear mass, and probably watch TV. Movie night po pala. Movie night day, weekend po pala yun sa akin. So yeah, but if it's a Monday already, on Monday, because I have upcoming trainings or I have an ebook to do, then I will make sure to come into that day with the clarity that I have to do an outline, or I have to do, I have to research about a topic or something. So you come each day with clarity and intention. Okay. And next is create a routine and create your daily habits. Okay. If there is anything that you will, there's aside from the quality output, if there's anything that I want you to take from this um, training is that you have to start creating a routine and a daily habit. So what do you do in the morning? What time do you wake up? What's the first thing that you do? And I hope that's not picking up your phone. Use a checklist, papel man po or sa phone. Marami pong pwedeng gawing app checklist sa phone to keep track of your progress. Yan. Number 3 is carve out time for deep work. Deep work, I always use the word, I learned the word deep work from one of the books that I read last year. Um, I'm sorry, I can't remember the title of the name of the author, but if I think he's the only one who wrote about deep work so far. And it's very, very helpful because that time I was writing a policy manual. Alam ko ba kung gaano kahirap umpisahan ang policy, policy book, yeah. Um, so for a lot of us, it's the starting that is difficult. Yeah. So you have to carve out time for that. There's so many techniques that you'll find online on how to do deep work, music, TV, light TV, background TV. Some people use noise canceling headphones. Some people go to the woods, to the forest, the beach. If you have something big to do, something very that requires deep focus, then it's called deep work. Okay? So if you have one of those kinds of tasks, then you have to carve out time for deep work. Okay? Number 4 is have fun. It's a surprising thing for a productivity tip, is to have fun. It's one of the misnomers about being productive, that pag productive ka, KJ ka, or, lagi kang serious, or lagi kang go, go, go. No. In fact, the most productive people actually find time to have fun. Yes. To let loose, to go out with friends, go out with family, watch a movie, etc. Um, and when you say having fun, it's also about finding happiness in accomplishing. I think this is one of the productivity reward system that I'd like you also to think about. It's that you find the happiness in accomplishing. Ako po, when I get to check off anything on my list, I'm happy because that means I really did that. And it's also honesty sa aking sarili because I'm not reporting to anybody. And when I do take off an item from my list, I find happiness in that. Really. And I hope you discover that too. And lastly, our productivity tip number 5 is find time for rest and enjoyment. Again, parang kakaiba po, no? To be productive means, being work-related. No, it's finding time for rest and enjoyment because you don't want to associate being productive with all the difficulties in the world. Right. So that is my last slide, guys. I hope you learned a lot. All right. So before we end and before we move on to the Q&A section, I hope you can join us on November 27. This is the full-on, full course, full workshop on planning and productivity principles and tools. During this training on the 27th, you will learn the following. It's work along, meaning po, I will try to send you the worksheets in advance when you do register. Or we will make do with what you can draw out on the day of the training. It's a work-along seminar, meaning po, as we tackle one item, you will do the planning and the drawing out of your habits with me. Together, we will do it together. So these are the list of things that you'll do, how to create your monthly, weekly, and daily habits, daily plans that work. There are certain techniques also in planning and calendaring that have helped me, and I also learned have helped other people um, in planning their daily tasks, their monthly tasks, their weekly tasks. If you are somebody who have many responsibilities in life, marami kayong roles in life, this is very going to be very helpful for you. How to carve out time for deep work. So again, as I was saying, if you have a big project, I will share some tips for you on how to um, to find time for deep work and how to get into more doing and less procrastinating. Procrastinating po yung pinapagpaliban, okay? Dinidili ng dinidelay. I'll teach you how to be more of an action person, yeah, a doer, and not just a planner, and to be less procrastinating. And lastly, and more. Actually, I'll be sharing so many other things. My head is excited just by thinking how we'll do this together. Strategies for handling projects for work and home. Productivity po has always been connected to my project management work because they serve each other, in a lot of angles and regard. So if you're someone who has a project, it could be as simple as redoing your house or rearranging your house or um, I kid you not, menu planning for mommies, that's a project. Do you know how hard it is to plan a menu for the household? That's a project. I'll teach you strategies for you to handle projects, small or big. If they're applicable, the principles of project planning and project management are applicable to both big or small activities. Yeah. So please, guys, I hope you join us on the 27th. The team, the wonderful people from Limitless will be, you can get in touch with them for the details of on how to register for the November 27 training and workshop. Okay. Thank you, guys. And we are now open for your questions. Okay, give me a second. All right, give me a second, guys. All right. Okay, do you have questions? Okay, one moment. The question, there's one question here from Valine, Carolina. Sorry about that. Okay, how do you how do you keep how do you make others productive without compromising your own productivity? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it depends who those people are, ma'am, Carolina. If you're reporting to them, that's a different topic altogether. But if they're people who you can sort of guide or control or advise, my my advice to you is to be clear about what you want them to do. Um, I think as Filipinos, it's one of the more difficult things for us to do is to express what we honestly want from other people, especially pag older or senior sa atin, we report to them. But if it's like your children or your co-workers or people that you work with in a group or a project, um, it should be something that you, if it's work related, for me it's easier because it's work, we all have work responsibilities. I want you to be clear sa iyo pa lang po kung ano yung gusto mong gawin nila, and then explain it to them or ask them nicely in a professional way. And at the same time, be sure din also, you make sure also na kayo rin po are showing that you have a reason to ask them to be productive. Because I think it's all in the being an example or a model for them. But the first thing is for you to be clear, ano po yung gusto nyo gawin nila. Because sometimes they don't know. Really. Some people do not know what you want them to do. Yeah. Thank you for your nice comments. One moment po, lilipat po ako sa screen po kasi ako. All right. Thank you all for your nice comments. Okay. Paano po magiging productive ang employee during the pandemic through, all right, though madaming, okay. Well, when you're, are you working from home, ma'am? If you're working from home, it's one of our struggles. I personally struggle with that because ang iniisip natin dahil tayo nasa bahay that, we don't have to commute, we don't have to dress up so much, some of us can just have a nice top, earrings, lipstick, and we're good to go. How do you become productive at home or when you're working from home during this pandemic? It's to plan your day, ma'am. It's very important for you to plan what you want to happen really. There are two things that will go into it. It's one, being realistic about what you want to do today. Huwag naman po kayo maglagay ng mga bagay na alam yung hindi nyo kayang tapusin sa isang araw. Because ang tendency sa'yo nun, if you don't get to do those tasks, you will feel disheartened. Malulungkot ka, ay, hindi ko nagawa. Only because you thought you could be superhero or, Wonder Woman for the day, and you squeezed in all those things in your list. So be realistic about the things that you do. That's the reason why, if you do attend the training on the 27th, I'll teach you how to do the IBD method. It has worked for me. It has worked for a lot of people. I do that. List out your day, ma'am, and then make sure that you are realistic, you're grounded on what you are, ano yung kaya mo sa isang araw. Don't push yourself. We can only do so much in a day. And be mindful of the hours that you allocate for work. When we went to work physically, it's just 8 to 10 hours. Kung talagang, you're workaholic, that's the word I'm looking for. If you're a workaholic, you're probably working 10 to 12 hours. That's the most. In the house, sometimes we don't do that. We go beyond the 10 to 12 hours. We sleep with our phones and our laptops. So please be realistic about the things that you can do and number. And the second is, one, realistic. And number two is, don't forget that you're at home. There should be boundaries of work and still being at home in that at home. Opo. Huwag po natin kalimutan na tayo nasa bahay. Yes, that's the advice that I can give you. Okay. Okay. What else? Have we got more? Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Victor. Hi, Victor. Miss Valerie, Reginaldo. Thank you for being here. I will try to look at all the things that you're. Right. Okay. There is a question at my request po siya. One moment, I'm reading it from my other device. All right. All right. I promise that I will not tell who you are. Um, all right. Pero po nagtanong, the person, ano pa talaga gender, no gender indicated. The person said that he or she is working from home and naglalaro po siya ng Mobile Legends. Gaming. Okay. And apparently the productivity has gone down. Tama ba? Kumonti yung productivity. And recommendations. Where do you play your Mobile Legends? If it's on your device, throw the device into your drawer and get to work. Remember guys, if you know Paolo Tibig, hanapin niyo po siya sa Facebook. He's one of the workplace excellence, trainers also. He said that more than ever, now is the time for you to treasure your work. Pahalagahan ang trabaho. So kung kayo po ay may trabaho, huwag niyo pong gamitin ang oras niyo sa trabaho sa paglalaro o paglanood ng videos, etc. I think we can find time for you, sir, for playing games. Find time in another time, wag naman yung during work. So let's be fair to our employers. Let's be fair to the people who are still, it's so easy to go to Dole now, guys, and to report a furlough. It's very convenient, really. Or to tell that, I have to retrench my employees because, business is bad, etc. If you're still employed, you still have work, no matter the nature of your work, freelance, full-time, part-time, you're very lucky you have a job. So palagan po natin yung hindi po sinasabing huwag mag-gaming, pero yung gaming po ilagay po sa ibang oras na hindi po covered ng work time. Yun. As I said, ang ating pong mobile device, our mobile phones have become our, our Achilles heel. It's become our weakness. If you're playing on a device, sir, ma'am, pakitago po ang device na pinaglalaroan nyo ng Mobile Legends. All right. All right, let me check if you still have any comments. Oops, sorry. Oh. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. There are people who are asking about payment details and how to register in our Zoom, in our chat and in our, Q&A part in Zoom. The people from Limitless are available for you to connect with as to how you can register and send payment for the full course. Yes. And thank you guys for your thank yous. You are all very welcome. I had fun also. I hope you learned a lot or something from me today. Okay. All right. Okay, hold on, one moment. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Let me think about this. What tips do you have for fresh graduates who have a work from home setup for their first job? What tips do you have to avoid burnout? Oh, all right. All right. If you're a fresh graduate and you're working from home, that's fun. I wish I worked from home when I started working. If you're working from home, Miss Louise C, make sure that you have a corner, a table that is your workspace. Yes. Make sure that you have that. Yung hindi ka may istorbo. And if your work requires you to concentrate, to focus, to have a quiet environment, make sure that you fulfill that. Um, kung sa stricto pa pong work environment, make your workplace stellar. Yes. How to avoid burnout? Don't overwork. Do not traumatize yourself. This is your first job. I think it's one of the reasons, Luis, that I am very interested in working, that I enjoy working is because I had fun with my first job. So I wish that for you too. Huwag mong, that's how we are as people, that we associate things with things that make us happy or make us that traumatize us. So don't let this first job experience working from home traumatize you. Enjoy it. You're lucky that you're at home. Wala kang masyadong gastos, di ba? And sa bahay ka lang, you have to enjoy it. Enjoy the job that you have. And again, as I said, yung sa nag-ask ng question kanina, you're very lucky you have a job. You're very lucky to be still earning money. A lot of people are unemployed. So if you're working from home, make sure again that you have a space for working, um, that it will enable you to work, and that number two, that you enjoy it, and that to avoid burnout, do not overwork. You can only do so much in a day. Do not push it beyond your productive span of time. Yeah, we have a limit. Um, like for me, I'm only productive up to about 5 o'clock. After that, I can only very minimal menial jobs. Yeah. All right. We have one more question. One moment. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, if it's your break time, somebody asked, kasama po bang break time sa hindi dapat gamitin for non-work related activities? Oh, well, it's your break time. So, technically, pwede mong gawin yung gusto mong gawin pag break time. And if you go back to the 5 productivity tips that I showed you, the last one, I think number 4 is find time for fun. And number 5 is find time for rest and enjoyment. And that's very important. Kaya po tayo binibigyan ng break time sa work, di ba? Meron pa nga yung iba, may coffee break pa in the morning 10, around 10 o'clock, and then another one at 3 o'clock. It's because your attention span and your energy lasts a certain may duration po yan eh. It's the same thing with, movies. Wala po masyadong movie. Very rare yung movies na 3 o'clock, na beyond 3 o'clock. 3 hours. We only have we have a certain number of hours, minutes that we are able to focus on a task. So if you're asking me, is this employee handbook related? If you have a break time, if it's your break time, technically you can do what you want to do. For as long as it's legal and more. Yes. All right. Okay. Okay, we are down to our last few questions. Okay. One moment. Thank you, Alex. You're very welcome. All right. Okay. All right, guys. All right. I think this is going to be our last question, guys, from the chat. How should leaders manage underproductive employees? Oh, I love this question. You know why I love this question? Because I love hiring people. And I'm also a person of standards policies. I love setting standards. Mr. Your question needs to be addressed by a, guess what? By an employee handbook, a job description, and a performance-based review system. That's like three big words. But if you're managing people who are underproductive under you, that is sad. Number one, I want you to set the standards that you want from them. Kasi po, may mga employees who come into the company sometimes who are without experience, you know, fresh graduates, first-time workers, or it's first time to come into that kind of work. They do not know what to expect. So you, as the manager, kung kayo po yung manager nila, you should be clear as to how you want them to perform. There are two things that you should let them know. Number one is what you expect from them. Number two, what are the consequences of them doing a good job and doing a bad job? Okay? So number one po again, as I will say, is what are expectations? So the expectations po will come from a job description. Job description, employee handbook. If you don't have those, you should better start now or revise yours now because we are living in different kind of work setup now. Kasi some of us are working in different situations. So again, what you expect from the employee. And number two is what is the consequence for doing a good job and doing a bad job. I will specify, I will specifically tell you that you should specify the good and the bad job in consequence po nun. Because you don't want this to be all derogatory. Meaning po, hindi naman pwedeng puro parusa. Okay? Hindi rin po pwedeng puro lang reward. Okay? So it has to be a balance that the employee has to do. You have to let the employees know that the consequence of doing a bad job has a certain parusa or a certain activity. Yes. If those employees do not get cleared up or hindi nila na-realize na may consequence yung non-performing nila, after certain number of counts that you can specify for as long as it's Department of Labor and Employment compliant, basta po approved yan ng DOLE, you can do that to employee. You have to consult with your HR and with the Department of Labor. But again, number one is expectations and number two, consequences. Right. All right. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Louise. And okay. All right, have we got any more questions? That's our last one. All right, thank you very much, guys, for being with us today. If you want to connect with me on social media, I'm on LinkedIn. And I have a page for my online business coaching, online coaching business. It's Food Forward PH. I will be happy to teach you how to make a new food business, food po, because I'm a hotelier and restaurateur. And are we ready for a photo op? For a photo op? Hold on. I'm struggling with my three screens. Give me a minute. There we go. All right. All right. Okay, one moment. Okay, guys. Guys, thank you very much. Again, I'm Catherine Bolodo. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Limitless team. There are people po who are working hard behind the scenes. Thank you. And I hope you all have a productive weekend. Ironic as that may sound, but I pray that you all have productive days ahead. And we will go to a photo op po. Let me set up my screen. Okay. Are you guys